Hey guys, Andrew with AMT Tactical. Today we're going to talk about the second step of our fall overseeding project, which is called core aeration or mechanical aeration. We will talk about the benefits of aeration and also why and when to do it. Now, core aeration is when you use a machine like this one that pulls these plugs out of the ground. Now, these plugs will be 3, 4, 5 inches deep, and the more you make of them, the better. When you examine the plugs, you'll see a thatch layer across the top. Any thatch layer more than a half an inch is going to promote disease and insects, and it's also going to stop water movement from getting down in your soil, which is going to promote shallow roots. If your turf has a shallow root system, it's not going to be able to stand up to the lack of watering or the heat during the summer. So that brings us to the second major benefit of core aeration, which is reducing compaction in your soil. An easy way to check your soil's compaction is just to take a long screwdriver and try sticking it down into your soil. If the screwdriver goes down with ease, then you know you don't have a very compacted soil. But if it takes a lot of effort to get the screwdriver down into the soil, you know you have a compaction issue and you definitely need to aerate. By removing the plugs with the aerator, the soil is naturally going to expand to fill those holes, and in doing so, it's going to reduce its compaction, which is going to allow for deeper root growth of your grass. The deeper your roots can dive looking for water, the more resilient the grass plant will become in times of stress due to high heat or lack of water. The reason a lot of folks with cool season turf experience die off during the summertime is because they don't have established roots down deep. When those roots are shallow, the soil is going to heat up and dry out really fast from the hot summer sun. So when you get your roots down deep, searching for water down 6, 7, 8 inches down, it can survive that hot summer heat and be resilient and make it through. The third major benefit of core aeration is allowing access to the root zone. By opening up the root zone, you are allowing water, air, and nutrients down into the root zone where they can be absorbed by the grass plant. When you core aerate, you are allowing oxygen to get back down into the root zone and allowing CO2 to escape. Without an ample amount of oxygen down in the root zone, CO2 will build up and it will choke the roots of the grass plant. You will also have a hard time having the grass take up water and nutrients. Another major benefit of core aeration is allowing the holes to operate as a seed bed when you overseed. Overseeding is the easiest way to enhance the look of your lawn and also introduce newer varieties of grass which are more resilient to drought or disease. So if your lawn is looking a little thin, if you had problems with weeds or with die off from fungus or a sprinkler head that wasn't operating correctly, overseeding is the easiest way to get your lawn looking thick and healthy again. So the question is, when do you aerate? Well, for cool season grass, you want to aerate in the early fall. For warm season turf, you want to aerate in the summertime, usually around June or July. You only want to aerate a lawn when it is growing vigorously and never when it is dormant. The soil needs to be moist, not overly wet or overly dry. So if you're putting down the right amount of water on your lawn every 2 or 3 days, putting down half an inch of water, the next day after you irrigate or after you have a good rain, not a thunderstorm, that's when you would want to aerate. Before you aerate, always make sure you mark any underground sprinklers, shallow buried utilities, shallow roots, anything that you could hit so you can avoid them with the aerator instead of going into them. So this here is what's called a spike aerator, and it obviously isn't going to pull any cores and doesn't go very deep, but it will rough up the surface of your soil, making for a nice soft seed bed for your seed to have good seed to soil contact. I wouldn't recommend it, but it is something that's out there and they are cheap. This one is a toe behind plug aerator. This is an agrifab. They don't make very big or deep cores. As you can see, they're about
pinky size, and you need a lot of weight to get it to actually plunge down in because it's not hydraulic like one you could go rent from your local Home Depot. They're about $100 for a day, um, but they work much, much better than these do at pulling a good core sample out of the ground.
Now that September is here, it is time for us cool season grass people up north and in the transition zone to get ready for our renovations and our aerating and overseeding. So I hope this video was very beneficial. I hope it answered a lot of questions. I hope it clarified a lot of things. Most of all, I hope it showed you the benefit of what aerating can do for you, even if you don't overseed. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.